Bismillah, alhamdulillah, la ilaha illallah, Allahu Akbar. Today we continue again with chapter 21, the Anbiya, the prophets. And we want to just, before we proceed with this surah, we just need to know the purpose. Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have revealed this surah again, or this chapter again. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the beginning of this surah, He's saying that the day of judgment have come in close and people are still in a nap. Imagine you have a child or you have a kid and the kid is still sleeping. His exam is only 2 hours. 2 hours for his exam. And the child is still sleeping. He didn't study for exam. And you're trying to wake him up. What are you going to have to do? You're going to have to really give him all the news and wake him up. Huge sound, huge, you have to give alarm and try to come, wake up, wake up, wake up. You're examining 2 hours. Come on, you didn't study. Come study. Just get something done. And so on and so forth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have sent all these prophets and have sent all these messengers to basically give us an indication, warning that the hereafter, the day of judgment is coming. There's no doubt about it. And the three questions which each one of us has to answer: where we came from, what we're supposed to do, and what's going to happen after death. These are very important. What is my purpose? What in life? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He brought these prophets, He brought these messengers to be able to tell us, to teach us the purpose why we're here. And that's the main, and wake us up, because the temptations, the luxuries, how this life is constructed, where there is a devil, where there is an ego, where there is all kind of temptations around us, how we will wake up and be able to realize that everything will end. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in these verses, which we stopped at yesterday, 103, He's talking again about the believers and how the believers, when the day of judgment comes, they will be hosted with the angels. The angels will, once they come out of their graves, when their recreation, when the resurrection comes, the malaika, the angels will come and greet them and tell them peace, and they tell them, give them the good news, give them the good news. Oh, don't worry, because at that day there will be so many events going on, where everybody will be afraid, have fear, have worried, and the angels are going to come to the believers and secure them and tell them, don't worry, everything will be fine. You did everything what you're supposed to do. You remember when we were with you in this life, we protected you, we saved you from doing sins. You were going to do such and such sin, and you had something happen to your tire. You didn't go. Something happened. You know what would have happened if you went? So we did all kind of stuff to protect you and to help you because you were a believer. So that's the main reason here of this chapter, to show us the role models, how these role models acted, the prophets, how these role models were able to survive through challenges, verbal abuse, physical abuse, all kind of calamities, different. You see Jonah, Job, the patience they had. You see Abraham. You see how he was expelled from his people and how he went back. He went to the Jerusalem. He went to the Palestine area right now, and he initiated another family. He started another family. His life was full of calamities, and how he was patient, how he was so gracious. And the rest of the prophets, you see the prophet, even David and Solomon, who got the luxuries, they got kingdoms, but how they used all of this, and how they realized that there is a creator, and they were able to understand that to use everything the creator have given them to basically teach others about one thing: there is only one God worthy of worship, which is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the final message is the message of Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, because this is the unchanged, this is the complete, this is the message which has everything in it from A to Z. But it comes to our misunderstanding, and a lot of times our misunderstanding can change, can build a lot of doubts in the people's hearts. And as we see, once we are not able to understand, once we're not able to know why we're here, what's the purpose of our existence, you see bloodshed, you see evil, you see innocent people are dying, you see innocent people being tortured, innocent people, their organs have been taken away, innocent people have been bombed, innocent people have so many incidents because of the ego, because of the manipulation. So we're really, because remember that there is a devil, there is the ego in yourself, all these can blind you from knowing the truth, from acting upon the truth, from accepting the message of the Quran and accepting the message of the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ and act upon it. It's not just accepting it, because accepting something, you buy a new car, but if you don't know how to drive, it's useless. So all of this, all these prophets came to basically teach us, to let us know what we're here for, what we're supposed to do, and what's going to happen after death. And that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He bring us to the ayah number 103. We said that the angels will come and surround the believers and say, calm down, everything will be fine, you don't have to worry. هَذَا يَوْمُكُمْ, this is your day, this is the day you were waiting for. You were subjected to hate, you were subjected to agony, you were subjected to a lot of abuse. Today is your day. الَّذِي كُنْتُمْ تُوعَدُونَ, the day which the Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, have promised you. يَوْمَ نَطْوِي السَّمَاءَ كَطَيِّ السِّجِلِّ لِلْكُتُبِ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, when you have, like say, a long sheet of paper, has a lot of writings, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, we will fold the heavens, same way we fold a book, like that. So we'll fold a sheet of paper like that. كما بدأنا أول خلق نعيده. The same way we created the creation in the beginning, Big Bang, explosion, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with His wisdom, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with His marvelous abilities and capabilities, He made everything so delicate. Again, He will change, He will bring everything back in a different way, in a different capability, in a different dimensions. We don't know, but He will bring everything back. كما خلقنا بدأنا أول خلق نعيد. We'll bring everything back the same way we created initially. وعدا علينا. This is our promise. إن كنا فاعلين. Indeed, if we will do it, this is a confirmation that we will do it. We will bring everything back to accountability. That's the day of accountability. That's the day when everybody will be asked. This is the auditing day. This is the big auditing day. And that's the thing which you cannot change anything. At that day, everything is already set. Your actions are already recorded. Your deeds are already recorded. And also when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, كَطَيِّ السِّجِلِّ لِلْكُتُبِ, this first time He said, when I fold, like a big sheet of paper has the writing on it, like he's folding the heavens. It's also the sheets of the if you imagine that this, or if you have the understanding that the actions of every believer, say for example, is written on a sheet, they're folded, it's done. Your action, and this is the day judgment can. It's not the day of judgment actually can happen. The small judgment for each one of us can happen when he dies, because after this you're done. You have to wait for the big day judgment. But at this point, when you die on this earth, at any time, day judgment is done for you. It came already for you, and that's the whole thing. This is what this surah is coming. It's telling you, wake up from your nap, wake up from sleeping, and wake up and think about what you're here for on this earth. What's going to happen to you after death? What you're supposed to do. And you look at these prophets, because each one of us will run through one of these small things or small tests these prophets went through. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said, وَلَقَدْ كَتَبْنَا فِي الزَّبُورِ مِنْ بَعْدِ الذِّكْرِ أَنَّ الْأَرْضَ يَرِثُهَا عِبَادِيَ الصَّالِحِينَ. The good news is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, with Zabur, this is the book of Sayyidina Dawood, David. We have getting that, they get the book of, it's called Zabur. And بعد الذكر, also the dhikr, they said that this is the Torah of Musa. And regardless, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is basically saying, in every book He have revealed that this earth and in hereafter too, it's a very comprehensive meaning. My righteous slave will be the successors, will be the inheritors, will be the winners, will be the one who rule this earth. Regardless, you see the evil here on our earth right now is in its peak. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, you have a winning, as a believer, you have a winning relationship with Allah. You do your job, you're getting paid. You're calling people for the truth, you're getting paid from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Regardless, the physical abuse you, they verbal abuse you, you're getting paid. You're getting compensation. You see, when you have anybody has a car accident or whatever, compensation. Physical abuse, compensation. Psychological abuse, compensation. Psychological distress. All kind of lawyers put big items so they can get a big payout from the insurance company. And this is exactly anything the believers go through is getting paid from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If he is doing this only for the sole pleasure for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he will get paid. So the main thing is we would, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said that the believers will be the inheritors. And regardless, they will inherit inheritors of this earth, because they will rule. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has to be a winner in this life, in this earth, and in the hereafter. So Allah have written that the righteous slaves, the people who do right, the people who do what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, first of all, they have the belief that there's only one God worthy of worshipping, who is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number two, Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam is his last prophet and last messenger. Number three, they act upon these things. They become righteous. They do it only for the sole pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Number four, they become muslih. They invite people for the truth. They want to change the surrounding, what's around them. إن في هذا لبلاغا لقوم عابدين. Indeed, this is a call. This is a reminder for those who are humble slaves of Allah. Humble slave of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us here that becoming a slave of Allah, you get all kind of protection. You're going to get all kind of inheritors. You're going to get all kind of good things coming to you. The security. And imagine you are a slave in a master's home. You're taking care of what? you're supposed to do. You do your cleaning job in the morning. You do your plants. You do your watering the plants. You do everything you're supposed to do. Cleaning the dishes, whatever. You are under the protection of your master. There's security guards outside. There is cameras. There is surveillance. There is everything. Because you are doing the master job. You're actually working for him, so he'll protect you. And basically, when you're using all of what he have given, you have the luxury to eat. He tell you eat. He'll tell you drink. So he's giving even the sustenance. So you're under the complete protection. This is exactly the slave of Allah. The slave of Allah, when he become following Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, doing what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks him to do, he will be successful. He will be a real worshipper. He will be a real slave. And then it comes with his own royalties. It comes with its own benefits from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Verse all, he said, inheritors. You guys, the believers will inherit the earth, will be superior on earth, and in the hereafter. Number two, you will be protected, regardless, as far as you're doing the right thing, which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have said, and the Prophet Muhammad alayhi sallam have said. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا رَحْمَةً لِلْعَالَمِينَ. We have sent you, O Muhammad, as a mercy for mankind. How is this? Prophet Muhammad alayhi sallam is mercy for mankind. The message of the Quran, the message of Islam is mercy. Why is it mercy? It's mercy because it has the truth. It has, let's give an example. Imagine you have a worker who started to work in a corporation. They do something called orientation. In that orientation, we give that worker all the documents. We'll tell him everything, what he's supposed to do, how he's supposed to interact with others, how he's supposed to send emails, which emails he can open, which emails he's not supposed to open, what emails he's supposed to get into his work email. Everything we make sure that he knows how to interact with his co-workers, how to interact with the customers, how to interact with the higher management, everything. Why? We make sure he signed. You make sure he knows. This is called mercy. Why? Because if I come, you don't want to hear, a worker doesn't, an employer, the employer doesn't want to hear this word. I don't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. I didn't know. No. He said, you read it, you signed, you acknowledge it. And that's why, because when he does something which he's not supposed to do, a violation, and he gets fired for that, you don't want to hear, or the employer doesn't want to hear, I didn't know. No, you know, you signed for it. And this is exactly what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is a mercy. He sent the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ with the complete instructions. This religion of Islam, with this Quran, with the Quran, he brought also the whole legal laws, the laws which you're supposed to use in your life, in your daily, how you interact with everything around you within that. And this is a mercy for mankind. So when you go to the hereafter, there's no surprises here. No, we told you right here in the Quran. When something happened, calamity or turmoil or a problem or earthquake or hurricane or coronavirus, whatever. No, we told you that you can die at any second. When you do something which you're not supposed to do, we told you. This is exactly why this is called mercy. To let you know the expectations of what's going to happen. And this is why the mercy of the Prophet Muhammad, the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in sending the Prophet Muhammad alayhi salam with a complete script, unchanged script, which is the Quran, is to tell everybody to come to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, to come as a worshipper to the only Lord of the heavens and the earth. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم